Hi everyone, my name is D. Sandeep. I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Information Technology of MLR Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. In last class or in last video, we discussed about the typecasting. What is this? What is the typecasting? And we seen that inbuilt functions, that is int function and float function. So typecasting means what? It is used to convert from one data type value to another data type. So for that purpose, the Python provides 5 inbuilt functions, basic inbuilt functions, that is int function, float function, next str function, complex function, and then bool function. So in last video we discussed about that int function and float function. So int function is used to convert any data type value to int data type value, and also we seen that example. That is program on that int function. Next, float function. So float function is used to convert any data type value to float data type value. So that on that also we discussed some programmatical example. So today we are going to discuss the remaining functions for about the typecasting, that is complex function, bool function, and str function, that is string function. First, let me discuss about this complex function. So complex function, the Python complex function is used to convert a complex number, is used any type value to a complex number. That complex number contains what? Real and imaginary part of the number. For example, see, for example, if you take a number of complex a equals to 3 plus 5j. Here 3 is real part of the number and 5 is imaginary part of the number, and j suffix represents what? Square root of minus 1. We can represent small case a or uppercase j, small case j or uppercase j. So this is the complex type, complex type. Okay. Now if you want to convert any data type value to complex type, then use a function, that is complex function. If you want to convert any data type value to complex type value, then use the complex function. But here we have, or we can convert the two ways. That means we can convert that any type value to complex type in two ways. One is complex and we are passing complex function and we are passing only one parameter, and second function, that is in that complex function we are passing two parameter values. Okay. First here, what is this one is, that is we are passing one parameter. So here passing one parameter, and that parameter represents what? Real part of the number in the complex number, and imaginary part number is considered as 0, and imaginary part of the number is considered as 0. So whenever you are passing only one parameter and that parameter is considered as the imaginary real part of the complex number, and that 0 is considered as imaginary part of the number. Okay. So once again I will tell you that complex function, and into these complex function, whenever we are passing only one parameter, for example x, and that x is considered which part of the number? Real part of the number. Then what about imaginary part of the complex number? Then that imaginary part is considered what? 0. Okay. So let me run one example. Okay. So a equals to, okay, so complex of 1 or 10, complex of 10. So 10 is what? Int type. 10 is what? Int type. Now that 10 is considered as a int type, we are going to convert into complex type, and into the complex function how many values or how many parameters we passed? Only one parameter, that is 10, and that 10 is considered as what? Real part of the number. Now print a, and then we are going to check whether that int value is converted or not. Okay. I save this program and now run this one. before going to run this program where we save this. So in the E drive, so once I save this program, so we are going to move into the Python folder where we save that Python file. So Python test.py, see 10 plus 0j, so 10 plus 0j, and what is the type? Complex type. That means that int value, okay, that int value is converted into complex type. And how many parameters we passed? Only one parameter, that is 10, and that parameter is considered what? Imaginary part of the complex, real part of the complex number, and that imaginary part will become 0. So that's why here what we got, that output 10 plus 0j, and also that 10 value is converted into which type? Complex type. So that's why it shows what? Complex type. Okay. Next, for example, b equals to, by using complex function, I am passing the value 10.5, which is represents what? Which represents float value. So we are converting that float value to the complex type by using complex function and assigning that result to the object b or to the variable b. Now let me see. So here only one parameter we passed into the complex function. Here only one parameter we pass into the complex function, and that parameter is considered what? Real part of the complex number, and imaginary part will become 0. So now what is the output? 10.5 plus 0j. So let me print, so b and then type of b. So what happened? So 10.5 plus 0j, and then type is complex type, right? So let me see another value, that is bool value. So complex, okay, I am passing only one parameter, that is true. Now print c comma, and we are using the type function which is used to check which data type of the object. Okay, na? So here what happened? We are converting that bool value. So bool values are only two, that is true and false. So we are converting this bool value into complex type and assigning the result to the c. After converting, we are printing the value, while that we are going to check the object c, that is which type of the or which data type of the object. So I save this program and I say again we are running this. So what happened? So as we know, the true value represents what? The true value is represent what? True value is represent what? 1, and false value is represent what? 0. See, here we pass what? Only true value. So that's why what we got? 1 plus 0j, and it is converted into complex type. So that's why it shows that complex type. Next, we will see that we try to convert that string, but whenever we are going to convert the string values into the complex type, then the string values must and should be represent in integral type or in int type or float type. For example, d equals to 20. Here what we given, or we can say like this one, complex function, directly we pass the 20. Here actually which type of value we passed, or which type of value we passed? String type. But that string type is in which way? Integral way or integral format. Now print, we have to print that result, and then we have to check what? Type. We have to check the type of the object. I save this program and again we are running this one. What happens? See, 20 plus j or 0j, and the type is what? Complex. So whenever we are converting the string values into complex type, then the string values either you have to be represented in integral format or in floating point format. In floating point format. If you are going to represent like this one, complex function, and I am representing the string value, for example, the string value is Python only. Okay, now print E, that is after converting the result we are printing, the result is stored in variable E, and then type of E. Okay, now see what happened. See, if you are not representing the string values in either integral or floating point format, then we will get what? An error. What is that error? Value error. Value error. So whenever we are converting the string values into the complex type, the string values must and should be represented either in integral or in floating point format. So this is very important point while converting the string values to the complex type. Okay, so this is about what? Complex function which we are passing only one parameter. Now there is another what? Format of the complex function. What is that one? Complex function which we are passing two parameters. Complex function which we are passing two parameters. So here x represents what? Real part of the number, and y represents what? Imaginary part of the number. See, let me run see an example through this program. Okay, for example, a equals to, so directly I am going to convert that values 10 comma 5. 10 comma 5. So now what happened? Two values are passed. One is 10 and second one is 5. So 10 is considered what? Real part of the number, and 5 is considered what? Imaginary part of the number. Now I am going to check print after converting the result, or after converting the type, we are assigning the result to A, and we are printing that A. While printing that value, we are going to check the type by using which function? Type function. Okay, so what happens? See, 10 plus 5j, and the complex is what? The type is what? Complex type. Okay, next b equals to, okay, so complex function. Okay, na? Next 10.5 comma 6.5. 6.5. Now print b after converting that values into complex type. The result are going to assign to b, and we are going to print that result. While printing the result, we are going to check the type of the object by using which function? Type function. So we are given the two values as what? Float values. That means the float values are going to convert into which type? Complex type. By using which function? Complex function. So let me see. Yes, now the float values are converted into complex type values. Next, c equals to, so complex function, now true comma false. True comma false. Now print after converting, that is bool values. The bool values are going to convert into complex type by using complex function and assigning that result to variable c. Now we are printing the result, that is through the c, and while printing the result through variable c, we are going to check the type of the object by using type function. So run this program. What happens? See, 1 plus 0j. That means true value is considered what? 1, and false value is considered what? 0. Okay. Next, d equals to, now you have to convert the string values into complex type. So the string values has to be represent in which format? Either in integral format or floating point format. So now see, so complex function, okay, so 10, okay, now comma 20, 10 comma 20, but here we will get what? An error. See, what is the error we get? and why we are getting that error. Okay, now see, I will run this program. While converting the string values of two parameters, we will get an error. See what happened? Type error we are getting. Why we are getting this error means because of whenever you are passing the string values in integral way, and or if you are going to pass the string values as a first parameter into the complex function, then no second parameter has to be passed into the complex function. Once again I will tell you, if you are passing the first parameter as a string into the complex function, then no need to pass, or no parameter has to be passed as a second parameter. No parameter has to be passed as second parameter. So that's why we are getting what? Which error? Type error. For example, if I remove this one, see, now we will get what? Output. Say 10 plus 0j. That means whenever we are passing the string values into the complex function, only one parameter has to be passed. That means if the first parameter is string value, then you could not pass the second parameter. So that's why we are getting what? Error, that is type error, as we seen in the last example. This is very important point. So if we are passing the string values and the string values are passed as a first parameter, then no second parameter has to be passed into the complex function. If you are going to pass the second parameter, then we will get what? The type error. Okay. So this is about what? Complex function. Now next what we had? Bool function, right? Now bool function what? So bool data type values representation. So this bool data type values represent what? How many values? True and false. Anyway, and this function is used to convert other data type values to bool type, and this is the syntax here. X any object, that is int object or float object or string object or list object or tuple object, any object we can pass into the bool function. Now let me run this program. So a equals to, okay, so bool function, that is 1. Other than 0, all values will be considered what? True. Okay. Now see, print after converting that int value 1 to bool data type, we are assigning the result to variable a and we are printing the result. And while printing the result, we are checking the type of the object by using which function? Type function, right? So true. Okay. Now next, b equals to, okay, now bool function and then 0. Now print b, this 0 is considered what? Integer only. So type of b. So we are converted that into bool function or bool type by using which function? Bool function, and assigning the result to the b. And now we are going to check the output. What happened? So 0 consider what? False, and which type? Bool type. Okay. Now next, so next we will convert to float values. So bool function, okay, now then float is 10.2. Print after converting the value, we are assigning the result to c. So now we are printing the c. While printing the c, we are using that type function to check which type of the variable. So and we'll get that output. See, it is true. That means other than 0 or 0.0, that bool values, that is false value will be considered. Other than 0 or 0.0, remaining all values will be considered what? True. Remaining all values will be considered what? True. So like in this way we can convert what? all values to bool type. For example, D equals to bool function. Now I am passing what? String. In which format? Integral format. Now print after converting the type, we are assigning the result to D. Now we are printing the D. While printing the D, we are going to check the type of the variable by using type function. Okay, see, true. So in this way we can convert all values into bool type by using which function? Bool function. Next we have another function, that is str function. So this str function is used to convert an object to string type. That means we can use the string function to convert any type of value or any type of object to string type. Anyway, it is also built-in function which can use it to convert objects of different data types, such as that is integer, floats, like that one. Okay, so that is the syntax, and into that is str function, and into that str function we are passing what? Object. So let me see an example on this string function. Right, so first a equals to str, and we are passing what? Int object. Now that int object is converted into string type by using which function? Str function, and we assign that result to a. Now we are going to print that result, and also we are going to print the type of the a. Okay, now so I save this program and again run this program. What happened? So 10, that int is converted into string, that's why we got what? Str, that is string type. Okay, now b equals to str, we are going to convert the float value to string type. So print a, and then so type of b. Okay, now see what happened. Sorry, I save this program. Now once again I will run. What happened? Sorry, here I am printing what? Object a value, but I need to print what? Object b value. Now we will get what? 20.5. Okay, na? 20.5. Next, c equals to, for example, str function, and we are passing what? True value, for example, that is bool type. So print c, and then by using type function we are going to check the type of the object. See, the true value is also converted into string type, that is bool data type. Okay, next, d equals to, okay, for example, str 3 plus 5j. Now print d, and then type of d. We'll see what is the output of this program. What happened? So 3 plus 5j, that is complex type value. That complex type value is converted into string type. So in this way we can convert that all data type values to string type. Okay, so this is about what? Typecasting functions or type conversion functions of basic data types, that is int function, float function, bool function, complex function, and string function, and then string function. Right, so anyway, totally about this video, we can convert from any type to complex type using complex function, as we discussed. But in complex function there is one important program is there, or one important point is there. Whenever we are using the string values, or whenever we are passing the string values to the complex function, see, generally whenever we are passing the string value as a first parameter into the complex function, we could not pass the second parameter. For example, now complex function, I am passing string value 5 plus 4j. Now print a comma, and that is type of a, that is we are checking the type of the object a. So type of a. I show this. See, now we'll get what? An output. See, what happened? Complex type 5 plus 4j. Actually, in which way? In which format we given? Integral format only. That is 5 plus 4j. But same program, if I am going to give some space between these operator or around that plus operator, now see, we'll get an error. What error? Value error. Value error. So it means while converting the string value into the complex function, don't give any spaces around the operator. If you give the space, then we'll get what? An error, that is value error. This is very important point about the complex function with the string values. Next, we can convert from any type value to bool type using bool function. We can convert any type value to str, that is string type, to which function? Str function. And we can also use this str function, that is string function, with the byte objects which are defined by the bytes function. That means we can also convert that byte objects to the string values or string type values. So this is about today's video. In next video we will discuss about that next sequences type, that is list, tuple, set, range. These are all the data types. Right? Thank you.